The year is 1918. World War I rages across Europe, and the vast and forgiving Atlantic Ocean has become a critical lifeline and a deadly battleground on these treacherous waters. One of the U.S. Navy's largest and most powerful ships, the USS Cyclops, steams homeward, laden with a heavy cargo of manganese ore. On board are 309 sole sailors, officers, and one very prominent passenger, the U.S. Consul General to Brazil. None of them would ever be seen again. The story of the USS Cyclops is one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in naval history. This was no small vessel. She was a behemoth, over 540 feet long, a true titan of the sea designed to carry thousands of tons of coal and supplies to fuel the war effort. Her final journey began in Brazil, a routine voyage that took her to the sunny shores of Barbados for a brief stop. Ship's logs from that stop show nothing out of the ordinary, just a massive ship resupplying before the final leg of her journey. On March 4, 1918, the Cyclops weighed anchor and departed Barbados, charting a course for Baltimore, Maryland. She was expected to arrive in just over a week, but days turned into a week. And then to silence. The ship never reached her destination. No distress call was ever received. No SOS. No frantic radio message reporting trouble. The USS Cyclops simply vanished. The U.S. Navy launched one of the most extensive search operations of its time. Ships and aircraft scoured the route between Barbados and Baltimore, a vast expanse of the Atlantic that includes the infamous Bermuda Triangle. They searched for any sign of the lost ship, a life raft, a piece of floating wreckage, an oil slick, anything. They found nothing. It was as if the ocean had swallowed the 20,000-ton vessel whole, leaving not a single trace behind. What could have happened? The theories began to swirl almost immediately, fueled by the vacuum of evidence. The backdrop of World War I offered the most obvious culprit, a German U-boat. Submarine warfare was at its peak, and the Atlantic was a hunting ground. Had a silent torpedo struck the Cyclops, sending her to the bottom before anyone could send a distress signal, the German Navy was meticulous in its record-keeping, logging every single ship sunk. After the war, when records were examined, there was no mention of an attack on the Cyclops. The Germans denied any involvement. So, if not an enemy attack, what else? Investigators looked at the ship's captain, George W. Worley. He was known for his eccentric behavior and was disliked by many of his crew. Rumors of a pro-German sympathizer leading a mutiny and handing the ship over to the enemy were considered, but again, no evidence ever surfaced to support this. There was no record of the Cyclops ever arriving in a German port. Then there was the cargo itself. The ship was heavily loaded with manganese ore, a substance that can shift violently in rough seas. The Cyclops was also known to have a structural flaw. One of its engines had been disabled, forcing it to travel at a reduced speed. Did a sudden, violent storm catch the already compromised ship? Did the heavy cargo shift, causing the vessel to capsize and sink in an instant, too quickly for any message to be sent? Weather reports from the time do indicate the potential for severe storms along her route. Massive rogue wave. A sudden and catastrophic structural failure. These are terrifyingly plausible scenarios in the violent Atlantic. For over a century, the fate of the USS Cyclops and her 309 crew members has remained a cold case, the ghost story whispered among sailors. No wreckage has ever been found. No final message was ever heard. The ship, her captain, and every soul aboard were simply erased from the world, leaving behind only questions, theories, and a chilling reminder of the power and mystery of the sea. The official U.S. Navy conclusion is as unsettling as the disappearance itself. The loss of the ship has been one of the most baffling mysteries in the annals of the Navy. All attempts to locate her having proved unsuccessful, the final log entry remains unwritten, lost somewhere in the silent, dark depths of the Atlantic. Thank you for watching. If you find these historical mysteries as fascinating as we do, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more deep dives into the unexplained. Stay curious.